I'm just sitting here in the shed waiting for some glue to dry, and I picked up my logbook. There's one I wanted to have a look at, an entry. It's back when I was flying the Seneca, and I was going down to Wagga to demonstrate video equipment to the Wagga horse racing track. Anyway, because of weather, I didn't make it. I'd taken off from Sydney, I think it was, under special VFR because the weather was very dicey, and I tracked out over Camden and just heading in a straight line for Wagga, flying the NDB. And when I got sort of Mittagong area, the weather was closing in. I could see like a wall of water around me. Sydney airport was closed. I couldn't go back, so I thought it's probably time I landed. And so I haven't been map reading. As I said, just flying the needle in a direct line, Sydney to Wagga. Anyway, so I pulled the maps out and I started to look. And I looked on the map and there's Crookwell. Now I know Crookwell's got an airstrip. I never having landed there, but it was a well-known airstrip. So I'm looking ahead on the ground and I can see a town coming up, and looking at the map, the roads going into it line up with the roads going into the town, and where the airport is at Crookwell, which was like would have been the southern side of Crookwell. And I look on the southern side of this town, and there's what looked like an airstrip. So I thought, that's got to be Crookwell. So anyway, I wouldn't have been very high. I probably only would have been 2,500 to 3,000 feet. So I let down and did a circuit to join the airfield, and so I came downwind, did a turn onto base and then onto final, because there was sheep on the runway. So I thought I'd do a low pass along the strip, which I was probably somewhere around 50 to 100 feet. And anyway, that cleared the sheep that were on the strip. They all ran off, and this wall of water around me is getting closer and closer. So next time I come around, I'm serious. This time I'm landing. I've got the flaps out, undercarriage out, and at the end of the field where I'm coming into land, there's a road, a fence, and the strip starts right at the fence. So I scraped over the fence. I was going to use every inch of available runway. And when I looked up, this runway goes up over, it's a goat track, hence up over the mountain like this. So anyway, but I've landed and I've bounced and skidded to a stop over the top, and I turned around and taxied to the top of the hill. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'm glad I'm down. And then this old guy comes up on a motorbike, and we start having a chat, and he said to me, yeah, they used to land the mail planes here about 20 years ago. And from the way he was talking, I don't think anything else had landed there in the last 20 years. And after a while I said to him, this is not Crookwell, is it? No, he said, Crookwell's about 20 miles down the road. We're at Taralga. So I thought, oh, that's very good. Anyway, so we chatted away for a while, and then he left on his motorbike, and off he went. And by this stage the weather's improving, so I thought, well, I knew exactly where I was now, and Goulburn was only 20 odd miles down the road. So, and Goulburn's a big airstrip, so airfield. So I'll get as far as I can. If I can get to Goulburn, I know I can get accommodation and that in town. So went through all my checks. I was lightly loaded. I was one up, and I probably had near full load of fuel on board, but only me in a 6-seater aeroplane, twin engine, it had plenty of go. But anyway, so I've taxied down the hill on the wet grass, and as I'm turning round to line up into the wind, because I've got to take off back up the hill into the wind, the whole aeroplane's sliding. The whole 4.5 tons of aeroplane is sliding sideways on this wet grass. So anyway, I put it into it, away we went. And it got off in no time at all. It was really good. But I'm just trying to find where my entry is for what year that was. I'm back to 1979. Right. Orchid Bench. Orchid Bench. Oh, that's the time Sam and I and Greg and his wife, we flew up. We got as far as Lismore, I think Maroochydore, Coolangatta, landed on Fraser Island. That was a lot of fun. I can't find this entry. Okay, there's no this. Downtown Carey. Baptist, no, Camp Coburn. Yeah. Cessnock, Bankstown, Sid, Lismore. Oh, here we are. I didn't put the date down. It was in August 1979. And I've got Bankstown to Goulburn and Goulburn back to Bankstown. That's really strange because I haven't been flown. I got that down as August 79. Then my next entry is February. It's like 6 months later. 71. That's really, really strange. That could have been a time when fuel was really short. You had to ring ahead and check if there was fuel available. Not only if it was available, if they'd sell it to you, because often you'd ring an airfield and speak to the operating aero club or flying school there, and they'd have fuel, but they wanted it for their own use, so they wouldn't sell it. And that's the only thing I can think of there. 6 months and I haven't flown a 6 month, really unusual. But so there you go. I didn't take off from Sydney on that flight by the look of it. I took off from Bankstown and then out over Camden, Mittagong, and that's when I started to run into the bad weather. But it was an exciting takeoff, let me tell you. So there you go. So that's that little story. That's one for the grandchildren.